I am not sorry for today's comment section, but that's okay. Everybody's gonna tell me I'm wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Ignore your party's character sheets when building your encounters. I'm evilsqueegee. I'm a professional dungeon master, and I've been DMing for 17 years, streaming my games for 2. I put this YouTube channel together so that anybody who wants to learn from my experience can. I'd appreciate it if you give my channel a little exploration, and if you have a good time, toss me a subscribe. And now for something completely on topic. On to the discussion that was promised! Don't set up monsters specifically to target holes in your party's composition. Don't pick out locations specifically to reward specific characters in your party. Do not design encounters specifically with your party in mind. Specifically. Now, I know right now, a lot of you just ended watching the video right there because you disagree. Some of you are sticking around to hear what I've got to say. Some of you are angrily typing comments as we speak. But that's okay. I'm not here to tell you how to run your game. I'm here to tell you that the way I run my game is fucking awesome. Point 1. Nothing goes as planned anyways. You should give the player characters a chance to shine by adjudicating their actions really well, not by planning it out ahead of time. We all know that the player characters never do anything as planned. That's how they evolved, really. They developed subconscious mind-reading powers so they could read your mind as the DM, discover what it was you had planned, and then fuck it up! And that's okay. We've talked about adjudicating actions before. Selfless, shameless self-plugging of my video. We're well equipped as the Dungeon Masters to literally make up whatever needs to be made up so the player characters are free to actually make the choices and decisions that they make at the table. But we do plan things as the Dungeon Master. And oftentimes we plan things for very good reasons. For instance, it's a well-known piece of dungeon mastering advice that all the players should get their chance to be in the spotlight, to do the thing that must be done, to save the day, to be a hero! Everybody wants to contribute a major part to the victory the party creates, and you tend to rotate that around a lot. But in a world where nothing ever goes according to plan, why would you plan that part out? If it's important to you that everybody gets their spotlight, why would you gamble on it and just hope that the player characters had the same idea that you did? Because as soon as they have their idea, and it's not the one that matches your choice, you have 2 options.
Only then did I realize my terrible mistake. It was 3 options.
Run with their idea and have to adjudicate this shit in the first place so that everybody gets their spotlight. Or run with their idea and don't give the players their spotlight. Or run with your idea, not theirs, and railroad the shit out of it just so other players can have their spotlight. So if you're gonna make it up in response to the player characters' actions anyways, and try and juggle and adjudicate their actions so that they get the spotlight, why did you plan it out in the first place? Guarantee that the players get their spotlight based on their actions. Closely related to the first point is my second point. Dungeon Masters design problems. Player characters design solutions. And if the Dungeon Master knows the solution ahead of time and nothing else the player characters try is going to achieve their desired result, in this case getting the spotlight, that's just shit DMing. It's a guessing game. It's a friggin' multiple point chess? It's a friggin' multiple choice test at best. That's not informed decision making. That's not interesting consequences. Absolutely nothing about that dungeon mastering style appeals to me in the slightest. I don't design solutions. I only design problems. I let the player characters solve the problems. Even when I'm planning out a combat, I keep in mind that combat is a solution the characters are likely to apply to the problem. Because of that, I like to maintain in my head an awareness of why the problem is a problem, so that no matter what the player characters do, I'm ready to roll, even if it's not combat. And if I'm not about to force combat down their throats, how am I supposed to design my combat so that they will have spotlight guaranteed? I'm not even going to have the combat in the first place. Nothing goes according to plan. I guess this really is just me repeating myself. I don't quiz the players hoping for an appropriate response. I adjudicate their actions. It's their idea that gives them the spotlight, not mine. I don't give them spotlight. I help them take it. My third point is that choices made during character creation should matter. So let's say that during character creation, all things considered equal, the story and the role-playing allows for either a lightning spell or a fire spell. So which do you choose? Let's say that you choose lightning because fire is more common of a resistance and immunity in monsters, and you want your spell to be effective against more creatures. Cool. So now let's say that I, as the Dungeon Master, see that you chose the lightning spell, and then choose a bunch of lightning resistant and lightning vulnerable monsters. I change the playing field. So instead of the campaign being filled with an average spread of monsters that includes a high quantity of fire resistant or fire vulnerable, etc., now it's all lightning oriented, which is not what you expected as the player. And sure, you might have just guessed wrong and chosen the wrong spell for the monsters that you were going to encounter anyways. But you didn't. You couldn't have chosen right, because no matter what choice you made, the consequences would have been the same. I would have responded to your decision so that no matter what you chose, you would have encountered a similar experience. And that's bullshit. Because the decision that you made was an informed decision. Informed decisions are the lifeblood of a good game. They are the heart and beating soul of what separates a combat from a boring slapfest. You're not making an informed decision there. When the Dungeon Master designs encounters in response to the choices you made when you were leveling up your character, your choices when you were leveling up your character could have been anything and the outcome would have been the same. Why make choices at that point? Just randomly pick stuff up. Who cares? Why does it matter? Maybe you don't care about that. I do. I mean, I'm the guy who writes 2,000-word dissertations on difficult terrain and choke points. I actually care about the game in the role-playing game. It's a huge third of the entire experience for me. Alright, you can cut loose. You think I'm wrong? Tell me. Let me know in the comments what you think. Ask your questions. Share your thoughts. I'm evilsqueegee. I'll catch you guys later. Adios.
The streets of New York. A more intense assault on your eyes couldn't be achieved short of uploading a virus into your cyberware. Chaotic neon lights flash and strobe. Electric beats race along the air with only one message. Buy, 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 little wage slave. Consume, consume, consume. But you've got yourself a different objective. A corporate entity whose name you don't know is paying a hefty sum of new yen to the first hacker to locate the databanks that have all the dirty info on the newest CEO of the American complex. Well, better you than anyone else, right? You fire up your cyberdeck, fingers flying along the keys while your cybernetic eyes show you a whole new world of virtual reality. Instagram? Nope, nothing but quotes and free maps. Who'd hide there? Facebook, maybe? Nah, too much arguing. Nobody likes that shithole. Twitch is right out. Live gameplay broadcasts would be a complete farce of a hideout. Twitter, too, though it would be easier to hide in a pile of GIFs, free plot hooks, and GMing advice than anywhere else. Maybe GameWisp? Follow the money? Good idea. Might as well grab yourself a few subscription benefits on your way by. See where it leads. Ooh. What have we here? 2 hidden folders, each locked with security measures you're pretty sure will fry your deck and your brain if you screw it up. They're labeled like and subscribe. So, what do you do?